Hello everyone and welcome back to Space Engineers. Now hopefully you enjoyed episode 15 and 16 where we did a double episode because quite frankly there was a lot of content, there was a lot of fights, and it didn't feel right to me to cut those fights out when, well, they were interesting, like things were going on. So I decided that we'd drop them to one day each basically. Hopefully you like them, and then we get on to today's episode, which, if you've seen Wednesday's episode, it's about fixing this place. Now, what we need to work out, though, is what are we... Look how bad this is. Oh, wow. I've not been up here. The question is, what are we going to do? It follows a very similar design to this, because it was based off of this. But what I need to identify is where is iron. Because I can see I've got a seam there. Definitely none over here, so I can build it probably right next to it and just try and get this last little bit. So that's probably what I'd do. So to do that, I'm going to throw a projector onto this one, which hopefully still has power. Let's double check. It does. And then I can just concentrate on not fixing this and all will be well. So I'm going to get the projector up, probably just throw it down there somewhere. And then we'll crack on. But the goal is to get the iron mine up and working. And when that iron mine's up and working, the next thing we're going to do is delete everything in our inventory. So we're going to go through, not the tools, but we're going to get rid of all our raw materials, all our components that we've got built, and we're just going to start again. And that's penance for what happened. I think it was in episode 11 or 12, I can't remember, but it happened in one of those episodes, and basically we ended up getting attacked so much, as you can probably see from all the ships lying on the floor, that we just needed to do something to get ahead, and I had to steal some resources, steal some ammo, and it was necessary. I mean, if you look at all these craters, some of these are from asteroids, most of these are now from ships. And you can see the littered remains here. So we've got to get something up and working. We've got to fix this drone, crack it into service to get this iron. And we also need to build this new mine and work out where we're going to put it. Whether it's going to be next to this one, mining out roughly this area. Because it looks like the iron is kind of here. So we'll work out where we're going to put that. And we'll start by getting this projector up and working. And hopefully it will be fine. So we do need to fix that. We need 100 computers. Wow. So I'm going to get that set up now with the projector and get the base aligned. And then when the base is in place, I'll bring you back and we'll start building it. All right, see you in a second. Okay, so as you can see, I've got this projected, and I've done some digging here to clear out room for the internal bit, and I've placed some blocks because this blueprint was aligned off of this grid, so I just had to place some blocks in here and get some down so that I could basically come up here and go, okay, that one's welded, and then, you know, build the next one. Okay, everyone, we are done building that. Also tidied this up, but as you can see, there's some plates just there. I grinded off the stilts and dropped the roof onto the cargo container that was carrying everything, and that caused it all to go kaboomy. So not ideal, but it is what it is. Do this. Rotor detected, drills detected, horizontal pistons none, pistons inverted none. Hang on, vertical pistons 2, 0. I set some horizontal pistons. Look, mine 01. Oh, that's not can't spell mine. Let's change that to mine 01 whore. So that one will get picked up now, and this one will get picked up when I put a / on it. Good. Come back to program block. Run. 2 do rotor detected. Cargo module 1. Run. I mean, we can. Stone duster set up. Let's double check. It will dust things. So many drills. I need to check this manually. I don't trust checking it any other way. This one should be set to do ores. Ore to drone, we'll call this one. Yep, cool. Which then means this one must be stone, which it is. So let's change this to stone duster so I know what it is. Perfect. So in theory, this is now done. It's worth bringing you back in now because two things have happened. One, see how this isn't moving? Now this isn't moving because this is too low. I can't move it up. So for the very first pass, all I have to do really is just keep chiseling away these bits of high ground. And once it's made its first pass, it will be fine. But it just might need that helping hand to get past. And I think we've probably overcome that now. And the other thing I wanted to share with you as well is it's possible, completely possible, to fix the subgrid blueprinting. And I didn't bring it up earlier. But you just press Alt and Control and it will blueprint the structure with the subgrids. But for some reason in the video I recorded the other day, I just didn't do that. I just didn't record the well, I just pushed the wrong button. I just pushed Shift B as normal and forgot about the Alt command. So this is now going to start mining. It should cover not all of it, but some of it. Now, one enhancement I could make to this, which I think I talked about in the game, is just where that piston is. If that had a rotor on it, then it would actually be a little bit better. Because what I could do then is I could put a rotor in there and then twist this whole thing. So if we look at where this is now, see it's not quite over here. Oh, I don't want to fall down there because I haven't got any hydrogen, but if I run around here, you see this comes just over to here. If I actually put a rotor on there, I could twist the arm to point towards where I am, extend that very top piston, and then it'd be able to cover it. So that is one modification I probably need to do at some point. I just haven't done it yet. That wind turbine is not efficient at all, but it does absolutely produce enough power for what this does. I managed to tidy up all the little bits here as well. I'm going to run back to base, grab some hydrogen, and then we'll come back and start setting up the drone. Okay, welcome back. So we're in a bit of a situation here. Last time we were here, we actually had quite a few bits of damage. And I thought I'd just repaired all this, but apparently not. So I've just been fixing up this platform, just so it goes back to normal. Okay, at least it looks normal. And we now have our drone, but the red batteries means it's basically out of power, which you can see in build vision if you hold control. So I can't lock this to the base for it to get power or set it up because it doesn't have power. So the question is, how do you fix it? Now, if you didn't know, you fix it with one of these. You grab a battery, and again, if you don't know, you can absolutely fix it by just bringing up to the turret here, grabbing one of these, dropping it on there somewhere. Actually, what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to be smart. What I'm going to do with this battery is put it somewhere on the drone as a backup battery. So what I mean by that is this battery will only ever be used to restart it if it runs out of power. And hopefully it will only ever run out of power in a place like this. But see, now it's all up. It's all good. All we need to do now is to switch the lock on this. And once that's locked, it will now pull its charge from the base. And these should start getting power, which they do. Now what I want to do is make sure this battery is turned off. I think I want to turn it off. I'm not 100% sure that I can turn that back on when the whole thing is dead, but turn it off. These are going to recharge. When they've recharged, we'll be able to set it up and we'll let it get to full charge because the timing on these is quite critical. While it's doing that, let's have a look at some of these timer blocks. And to do that, we're just going to jump into the actual control panel. So if we go into here and look at timer blocks, there's a charge and a load. So the position it's in now is what we would call charge because it's at the main base and it needs to sit here for a set amount of time to help it recharge. So depending on how far the drone is flying will depend on how long this charge time needs to be. But whatever this charge time is, it needs to be enough that the drone can fully recharge. Else what's going to happen is your drone's going to gradually run out of power and it's not going to be able to do its job. So you're better off going slower with the drone rather than faster and let it continuously work rather than have it crash one day and have to rebuild it. So now you understand that. If we then go into the setup actions, you'll see it has two things. Remote control, base, autopilot. So that basically means turn on the autopilot for the base. Now the name of these is not intuitive, but what this means is fly to the... This is the remote control that you activate when you're at the base. And the reason why that's important is because that one will fly you away from the base and then to your destination. This one just unlocks it. Now what we want to do is find this remote control and find out what it is doing, and that will help us govern what the next step is. So we go to remote controls and then select the base one. What you can now see is everything on here is pretty much ticked. Now we have to make a choice. See, precision mode is off. Now, because we're going to be flying inside of our other base, we need to probably change that. But before we change that, we need to understand where it's going to go. So see the autopilot is off. When you turn this on, it will try and fly away. So if we come down here, it says base waypoints up to 3 actions. And what you can see is that it's going to turn the autopilot off. It's going to turn the destination one on. It's going to turn the autopilot off. So this base up, basically, that's the waypoint you want to put above your base. So it's going to fly to that waypoint. When it gets to that waypoint, so say 100 meters up, it's then going to turn off the autopilot. Then it's going to use the programmable block to get to the destination, which is where you want to go and mine, and it will start the load timer block. So the next step is to look at that destination programmer block. And we look here. And then the question is, what is set up here? So this programmable block, just so you know, is basically, it enables you to fly a drone between 2 connectors, and it will automatically dock at those connectors without having to do any complicated GPS position marking. So it's been a while since I've done this, but basically you have to, from when the drone is connected, you have to say, hey, this is my base, this is my other one. So you have to manually fly it once, set up those locations, and then it's fine. So the other one that it triggered was the loading timer. So if we now look at this, see, this is not going to trigger unless you actually make it happen, and you'll see that it will wait 3 minutes. That 3 minutes is enough time for it to suck all the ore out of the place it is, and it'll get a little bit of a recharge. If we look at this, we'll use the destination autopilot, and again it will unlock. So you can see there's a pattern. And in a second, when we go to this destination one, what you'll hopefully see is that this one loops it back to the original one. So again, I have to turn precision mode on, we'll see. So again, that best up, we just need to create a waypoint that is above the destination, so it gets away from anything that could be in its way. And you might need to set up multiple waypoints to help it get to where it's going to go to. Then it's going to turn off the autopilot. Then it's going to enable the base programmer block, because that's the one that helps it go back to the base. Then it will start the charge timer, and that's what helps you get in that loop. So if we now look at the, we don't need to look at the programmer block, but hopefully you can see that that's how it will go in a loop. And the one thing you might remember, when I printed this, I turned this off straight away because it was blinking, which meant it was active and it was counting. If I didn't turn this off, because it's got GPS coordinates in there, what would have happened is this would have flown in the air, and then it probably would have pile drived the ground, because where my current base is not where the base was when this was made. So it's very important that that is turned off straight away. Okay, this needs to recharge. I need to get some GPS waypoints. So I'm going to grab those waypoints, and then when it's got some power, we'll fly and start getting the drone set up and configured. And then hopefully it will, I'd say hopefully it will fly well and not crash into anything. All right, let's see what happens. See you in a bit. Okay, this isn't good. I accidentally set this up badly. So what I need to do is adjust this, but before I do it, I need to make sure these are sort of set to their largest distance. So maximum distance 10, minimum distance 10, which is good. That means it's going as far out as it can. Same on this one. Okay. So the way I fix this is not to go and touch the programmer block, because I have this piston, which is not part of that. So all I need to do is just change the velocity on this so it starts extending. And then that will gradually pull it past that structure. It should already be going underneath this one. And hopefully it doesn't snap past it, but I guess we'll find out in a second. Increase the speed of that a little bit more. Just slow it down when it looks like it's going to wing off the end. There we go. Okay, so we want to give ourselves a bit more clearance than that. Just going under, so that's the maximum. I think what we'd do, especially because of those blocks there, probably we'll do 10 meters. I actually don't know how much iron is under there, because I need it to come over here, which it will. I know that iron comes up to here. I don't know how far into here the iron goes. It looks, because it's just a sliver as well. It's very scarce. I mean, having the mine for this was good because I don't have to worry about it, but I was just checking. I've actually used up all my iron. So the plan of deleting my iron, well, I don't have any left now, so it's not such a problem. But I'd say this one is done. So if we get into here, remote control base. So again, I'm going to start on the charging timer block so I don't make a mistake. Because it is currently charging. Let's see what it is doing. So it's going to click on the base autopilot remote control, which is fine. So now if we type in base, and it's the remote control one. So if we now come down here, we need to click on this, set up actions, autopilot off, run the destination one, like that. They're fine. So what we want to do is set this up with a new one. We need to add the new GPS. So how do we do that? Come down to here. We find not base dock 2. Where is it? There you go. Base iron drone 1. That one's good. Click add. Now what we want to do is set these to match. So remote control base autopilot off. Because again, when it gets there, these are the actions it's going to take. We need to turn the autopilot off. We need to hit the destination program block, because that's what's going to fly us there. And we need to start the load timer. So let's do that. So set up. So the first thing we want to do is the base, remote control, autopilot off, stops it all going. We need to hit that destination programmer block. And I'm pretty sure it's just run. Run with default argument. Okay. And the last one will be that timer block. So let's just put in the timer. So it's going to be the load one because we are loading. And it will be start, not trigger now. Trigger now will cause it to run immediately. So we've got autopilot off, programmer block destination, run with default argument, timer block load. And if you just switch between the two like this, you can see the only thing that's changing is the GPS markers. Now I can click on this one and remove it. This should be fine. When it triggers, it will go to the right place. And that hits that programmer block, the destination one. So we still need to set up the destination and the base program block so it knows where it's going. But largely, not the end of the world. It's actually the loading timer block I need to look at. Because this will tell you what it's doing. So destination autopilot on and undock. So we now need to set up the destination remote control, which is fine. So we've all got destination up. The first thing we're going to do is whereas in destination 1. So this is the most important one. So let's add that one in. Then we want to set in the second one. We'll add that one in. And then we need to set up these. So these one-way flight mode, by the way, we'll make sure it goes to these in order. So we'll go destination 1, destination 2. Now, something we might have to do, and we might lose the drone on this, is when this is set up, it might try and fly in a straight line. If that's the case, then we need to reprogram. In fact, I think that is the case. We might take some caution. On the way back, it's fine because it's going to be high enough that the autopilot will take it straight here, but not for the other one. Let's set this up. Autopilot destination off, and then run the base timer block and charge. Let's set up the actions for this one. So put the destination timer block on, then autopilot off. We want to run the base programmer block with default argument. And we're also going to set the charge timer, which will enable it to reload. So based on what we just said, I think it makes a lot more sense for us to change this base one. We see we've got, where is it? Got 3 actions on here. Not useful. I think what we need to do is go to that waypoint. And actually what we want to do is do these two in reverse. So add that one, then add that one. And this is going to give me the ability to do it in a different order. So what I want to do now, if I come down here, so if I select this one and move down. No, I don't want to do that. I want to move up. What I want to do now is take these actions and put it on destination 1. Because that's one horizontal. And hopefully that one's okay. So let's quickly set up the actions here. Not that I can remember what they were. Base autopilot off and destination timer blocks. Let's see if we can do that. Let's type in base or just B. Then we'll quickly double check we've got these done right. Yes, we want to do the destination one here. That will dock it. And then it will be the loading timer block, which we want to run. Pretty sure. Let's just double check. The base, the destination, the load. Base, destination, and load. Okay, that looks good. So if we go and set up actions, we can just, I think, click these off. There we go. We don't need those. Now, we have to make a choice. And what I mean by that is, from here, it will fly up like this, and it'll go, oh, that's close enough. Okay, now I'll fly over here. Oh, sorry, I'll fly over to this one. And it'll go, okay, that's close enough. Then I go, okay, well now I need to fly to this one. Okay, that's close enough. And it will do this if we don't set up precision mode. So we need to make sure we set that up in a way that is not going to cause a problem. Now, the question I have is, do we need that in both directions? I'll tell you exactly how we'll find out. We'll find out when it crashes. If I look at this one, where I'm trying to line it up, and this is the dangerous one where it's right above the ground, then I think we do need precision mode on. Now, ideally, I'd have it on just for this waypoint. So, I wonder if I go in here and I turn it on just for that one. So, what one is this? This is the destination one, I believe. No, remote control base. Okay. So let's see. If I come into here and do base and grab this, when I turn precision mode on and off, I can. So I want precision mode on. This is good. Because now what's going to happen is it's going to fly very quickly to this one. It's going to fly very quickly to this one. And then precision mode is going to come on. And it's going to fly to this one. Now, all I need to do is just turn it off in here. So if I just grab the base one again. Precision mode off. Job done. That will make it very safe going to that one. And if I just do the other remote control as well. And let's look at this. So for example, I don't want it to fly to destination up. That's one mistake, right? So let's remove that. Destination 1 needs to be nice and precise. Now, if precision mode's not on already, you shouldn't be running. You shouldn't be running. Stop. Oh, that was lucky. So where was we? This remote control. I'm glad I spotted that. So anyway, we'll come back to this. This one is going to fly off the dock. Get there. I'm hoping that when it triggers that, and when it gets to that one, it needs to be precise, doesn't it? When it gets there, so let's say at this one we want to turn off precision mode because then I want to get speed. That means I need to get the correct timer to make sure that doesn't happen. So if I look for my timers, and it'll be this one, and we set up actions, destination autopilot on, cargo drone unlocked. So we need to change this, because if I leave this as it is, all that's going to happen is it's going to fly into the ground, because it happens very quickly. The cargo drone connector, let's put that there, and I think this is unlocked, and that's all we need to do. Destination autopilot on, great. Let's grab that one. And the reason I'm doing it from right to left is it will show me I'm grabbing and doing the right thing. Right, so now I can put precision mode on. So precision mode is off currently. It will turn it on. It will then activate the autopilot, and then it will unlock, and that will fly away. So that will take it to here. And when it gets to the very first one, which is the risky one, it will then, based on the actions, I don't know why I came in here, we can see it just by hovering, it will turn precision mode off. And then it will fly quicker. So I think that's a good way of managing it. Now, collision avoidance, it would be nice for it to avoid things. So I think I'm actually going to turn this on. I leave the autopilot off because that's not important for me right now. I think I'll turn collision mode avoidance on here. That should stop it hitting other things. Okay, so I think that is set up now. So all we need to do is wait for this to get charged, which, as you can see, is going to take a while. So let me jump into this. I did the wrong one. Shift K brings me straight into here. Now, it always bugs me it does this. It gives me the grid name of the subgrid, the biggest subgrid, when the reality is that's not where I'm connected. Why is it doing that? Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put the batteries on here. Because if I can find my cargo ship batteries... Oh, did I not create a group for them? I did create a group. Almost certainly I created a group. I just need to look in groups. I did not create a group. Damn it. Let's go into here. Look for my batteries. So we want to do those two. Create a batteries group. I'm looking at this to make sure I spelled it right. I think I spelled it right. So now I'm going to turn off those to show them in terminal. Why do I need them anymore? Now, let's drop this down here, and then we'll just have recharge on off. Now I could add recharge to the timers as well.
Energy critical.
And maybe that's a good thing, but this will help this recharge much quicker, I hope. So first things first, let me get some more energy. But I think what we'll do is we'll set that up for recharging when it's at the base. And that will help it get more battery power quicker. That means it can fly more often, or at least make it safer. So I'm going to do that now. And I'll maybe show you that in a minute. So I'm just going to copy everything from these containers. Not copy. I'm going to lift and shift, move the old-fashioned way into these other containers. And I'll bring you guys back at the end when I've moved it and show you what we've got to do. If I have to spawn in more containers, I'll do that. Alright, so give me a few minutes and then we'll come back when I'm ready to delete it. Okay, so I've just grabbed the last of the components. I'm just going to drop them in here. So if I look in here, I don't know if I can see all of them. But you can see there is a lot of stuff in here. If I check this one, I've got these medical components. So let's just chuck these in as well. And make sure that they are not going to be around. Now, I thought long and hard about this. Because I can't make these because I don't have silver. But I think that's the price I need to pay. So again, we'll check this. Now, as you can see, I kept the gun, I kept the bottles. I've got no ammo apart from a little bit in the Gatling turrets. I kept 20 of these. So that's my time. So I need to get all the materials I need. Magnesium. It's not magnesium. All the materials I need to make ammo as a priority. So I can sort that out. And I'll go do that probably straight after this. But while we're in creative mode, we should now be able to control X this. I hope. And then this, in theory, will delete them completely. Boom. So now that is all gone. And now if I jump out of creative mode, that's it. We now have no resources. So what I need to do now is quickly go off and grab us some bare minimum resources that I need. Make sure that I can make ammo. I'm going to go do that. Okay, we are now back, we've got some, what do we get? We've got everything apart from iron. I say everything. We've got nickel, cobalt, bit of magnesium. I'm just going to see if I can sneak some iron from the iron mine. But I'm not convinced I can because I'm probably going to get hit by the drills. So we'll have a look and see if we can borrow some. But we just need to slow down. Oh, this vessel is not great at slowing down. Yeah, we should be able to drop in here and just steal some. As long as we do it carefully. Right, where was the iron? Just here. Very, very thin sliver, but should be all okay for us to borrow a little bit. Okay, that is a lot of the materials dropped over. So if we now have a quick check up here and see what is going on. I can turn my lights off now. We should be getting some basic materials in now. This was quite an easy fix. We got iron, cobalt, nickel, and magnesium. That's the one that's missing. Now we come back here. We don't have silicon. We don't have silver, so we can't get that one yet. But everything we need for this, I'm going to prioritize the ammunition because I need that. Once I've got the ammunition, it can build everything else. Unfortunately, I can't take a lot of this out of the queue because if I do, it's just going to build it anyway. But if we come back here, we need a butt ton of iron, nickel, magnesium, silver, cobalt, and silicon. So we need to get onto the silicon next. So I'm just going to go grab a bit of silicon and probably a bit more iron just to tie me over. Well, this was lucky. I was just flying around and I managed to find some silver. So I'm going to grab this while I've got it. And that will be very handy. Okay, I think it's time to get this drone up and working. Now, I've managed to set the base and the destination up. So all we need to do now is basically trigger it. So I'm just going to turn that block on. It should be. I need to stop the actual thing though, because if it's here, it should be on charge. Well, let's find the timer then. We'll gotta make sure I'm in the search block when I'm typing. Timer, charge. So click trigger now. See what happens. Okay, for starters, why did you go all the way over there? So if it went straight up, I'd be happy. Don't know why it went that way. It's going to be a bit worrying. Let's see what it's doing. This kind of looks alright. So I've made some amendments here just to give it a bit more room to come in. So it can clear the duct so it doesn't hit it on the way in. I'm not overly confident watching it bounce up and down. Well, it's got to hit the pot that point with the remote control. If it does, then it'll come in. Okay, so now it's on its auto docking. Oh, it's so quick. Okay, turn around. Oh, it came in backwards. Interesting. Can I trigger this now? No, well, if I click stop and then trigger now. Which way are you going? Oh, you're going to grind along the ceiling. Why did you try and shoot up first? Okay, so I might have to set a few more waypoints to give this a bit more fine control. So when it lands over here, which I'm confident it'll make this bit. Because as long as it's high enough, I'm almost certain it will make it there just on the autopilot for the ship docking. So let's see. It comes straight in. Yeah, I'm gonna need some more waypoints. That's a bit dangerous. Let's stop this timer. There we go. So that'll let that charge. And then what we'll do is we'll turn on our waypoints that we've got set up for it. So let me do that and we'll work out why it's having some challenges. And we'll see if setting a couple more waypoints will give it the precision to not bounce into the ceiling and stuff. Give me a second and we'll get that done. Okay, so I've added a couple extra points to this and changed one on the base because it seemed to be a bit funny. I've added this one here, hoping that that causes it not to fly up. So I'm just going to turn on autopilot and hope for the best, really. So once autopilot is on, I just need to switch lock and it should do it. Interesting. It still wants to go up. I have no idea why it's trying to go up. Maybe it's trying to avoid everything. So let me see if we can get... Oh, I'm running out of power. I want to get over here so I can catch it again. I wonder if it's got the collision stuff is on and that's the problem. So let's check the destination. Why can I not reach it? Oh, because I have to connect to it. Let me just grab this and turn it off as well. Make sure it doesn't do anything silly. So stop that. And also gives it a second to recharge, just in case it's not doing enough. So if we do Shift K, grab the terminal here. Let me just check the destination remote. I wonder, because collision avoidance is off, it's actually trying to fly too high. Now, which one's that? That's load. That one's charge. We just trigger that one now. See it fly straight up. So originally it was going for that one. For some reason it flew off to the side. And I think it's the collision avoidance.
Energy low.
Question is, do I have enough energy? Go over here. I can see the drones coming. So it takes it a while to find that one and the next one. And that's because we have precision mode on. And if you look at how that flies down, it's I don't say it's risky. I think a combination of maybe collision avoidance and precision mode is causing it to freak out a little bit. So I might try turning off collision mode on the other remote as well. Okay, so this is it coming in. This always has worked. Not a problem. So while it's here, let's just grab the terminal and we will just change that base one as well to turn off the collision avoidance. I do recall actually that collision avoidance causes more problems. The idea there was it would stop it crashing into other drones, but I think let's leave that being a risk and see what happens. Interesting enough, is this actually picking up iron? There's iron there. Look at this ship. It is not picking up iron. Why isn't it picking up iron? Do I have time to investigate that before I die? My question is, there's a conveyor there and a connector. This sorter. Hit K on this. Ores. White list. Is there something I need to do? Is there something else I need to do to make that happen? Oop. Just gonna I don't want to go on that in case it kills itself, but wonder why that's not picking stuff up. I need to investigate that. It absolutely could. Like if I grab the iron here,
Energy critical.
and do that, see, it can take the iron over. That's not a problem. But why isn't the iron being pushed? Let's just quickly check. If I bring up this one, very certain. Conveyor junction, sorter. Oh, I know what it is. I know what it is. I need to not die. one thing I need to not do. I come up here and grab this. And then look for the sorter. I think I need to tell it to throw out. Drain all. On. There you go. That is what I need it to do. And what is the status of this battery as well? 72.8. Charging? No. Thing about even? It is not. It's definitely power on. Input. Output. Why is it why is the base here draining its power? Is it, I suppose the batteries aren't full, but let's get rid of that block in my hand. That's annoying. Oh. Yeah, look at that. Collision avoidance off. I think we've done it. I think that is what we wanted it to do. Now, one thing I might do is build an antenna over there, but we need to leave that until we've got a few resources. So hopefully, do I need to set this up to drain all? I probably do. Can I do this on the terminal? Sorter. Yeah, so that's got drain all. Ores in the direction. What's this one? Drain all, yeah. So I remember to turn it on here. Might need to change that to use that iron, one of those two. Let me turn this off. And also I just want it to charge a bit. Okay, so I set this timer up for 20 minutes. That gives it plenty of time to charge, and we're still going to get iron just as quickly as we will need. I also added 3 extra turbines up the top here to make sure that we're definitely adding enough power into the station, because it was adding it, but it's just adding it slowly. So that will take care of that. I don't think we're going to get the other mine set up today, but my plan is if we come here, we can actually see what we need. Iron is taken care of. We need to set up the nickel mine. And silicon, so we'll get those 2 done, and a magnesium cobalt. So what we'll probably do is get the nickel and silicon ones set up, because they're the most important, and then we'll do something else, and then the episode later we'll probably come back and do the magnesium and cobalt one, because that's going to be a bit specialist possibly, because I'm not sure the current mine can reach far enough down, but we'll see. And we need to get a pit set up somewhere to take these resources in, like a little grinding pit. We'll work out how we're going to do that, and we'll take it from there. But for now, fly safe, and we'll see you in the next episode.